Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire in our self-imposed challenge, People. What people? Where we're playing on a planet that's got less than 1 million people in it at game start. That is maximum size for the planet of its class, so we're gonna have a little bit of a fun time trying to see how this goes. And over the intern here, we lost 200 infantry, or lost 300 infantry at the cost of killing 200 of the Marauders. We have 3 decisions. Yeah, we have a little bit better odds than that. If we get the big unit to join in, that'll probably be good. Since Heart Garrison, we'll ignore the leader's action just to not piss the leader off more. I do think it is time to grab that Military Research Council. I've got the money here. We do want commerce. Not worried about losing the meritocracy. And this will give us more people. And calm the slavers down a bit. So they'll be a little bit less likely to go full aggro on us. On the other hand, we're having some recruiting problems. Recruited 700 infantry from the population. Next turn that should finish. So no new brigade this turn. Okay, let's cycle that turn. Okay, we hold. Hold again. And we got someone that has slipped behind us, which is a little bit of an issue. $400 Galactic Republic grade MGs. That will be useful for the upcoming fight. Okay. 4 tags eliminated. Get rid of that guy we got encircled. And in theory, that's going to give us another roll on the loot table, finding another one of those goodie huts. So that's done. Let's go ahead and grab the organic furnace next. We can go ahead and raise another infantry formation. Improved ways of working, adapt the method. Camp 2 versus Camp 2. So the better Camp 2 takes the job. And again, we're going to favor discovery, at least until we get a tech we want to research. Now, military, we're likely just going to research most of what comes up. We want high velocity guns, we want automatic rifles, we want padded enviro suits, we want high-speed machine gun. We're probably I'm gonna keep discovery high until we find padded envirosuits and automatic rifle. I'm gonna pass over gas-powered small arms. After it got nerfed, it's a little less of a go-to these days. I tend to like jumping straight to automatic rifle. Try to up-tier our troops. We are going to get the model designer, which is also the other reason we're not necessarily rushing to apply that upgrade. Okay, turn. Okay, that wasn't a great turn for us. I think the bison came in off the sidelines and helped break out the marauders there, which is a little unfortunate. Okay. They want us to buy slaves. We'll go ahead and buy them again. Growing the size of the city a little bit. And again, I'm probably not too worried about XP.
Roger that.
Bet another priest. I'm surprised our power. Oh, because this guy. This guy. It's huge energy. That's where the energy's going. I'm like, why is my power negative? Because you've got a guy that shoots literally shoots power. Literally shoots your energy. Okay, we've got that guy encircled. We'll deal with that guy soon. That guy's going to be a little bit harder, though. If we can just drive him back into the mountains, he'll be fine. I think we got the encirclement on him broken because the over here somewhere, and we haven't had a particularly great job of seeing them, is the bison. The bison doing bison things. We're a little low on ammo. Let's try to solve that a little bit.
Roger that.
There we go. Oh, I've got another one of you I can stand up, so we'll deploy and raise another infantry brigade. And I'm thinking if we can, we probably want to push down to the ocean down here where we've got a decent, in theory, a decent supply of water. Then we can set up some farms. Maybe do like farms into biofuel into power plants so we have adequate power. Okay, I don't think we took any... No, we took a little bit of losses there. We did kill 10 of their vehicles. Commercial project's nice. Oh,
Request back.
so I assume that is the bison. No, this is turtles. Turtle. Scientific name... Solatrapopod gula. And that thing fights better than our infantry. And there's... Reconnaissance here is telling us there's 1.7 thousand of them. So, I wonder why infantry is having trouble. And by I wonder why our infantry is having a little trouble. I'm not. I understand why infantry is having trouble against that. That makes perfect sense. Okay, let's clear that pocket.
All clear, sir.
Yeah, circle and get rid of that guy, that would be good. We're doing what we can. Okay, so the organic furnace is going. So with that, let's do the high command upgrade. So we don't fail that demand. Give me some of the demands.
Roger that.
Okay. Could meet with the CEO. I'm a little bit tempted to because I've definitely got the political power sitting around.
Roger that.
And the commercial power project.
Affirmative.
Yeah, let's meet the
Roger
CEO.
that.
Oh, and I've got 400 foot infantry to replace, so let's get that out. Get that in the pipeline to being replaced. So when we unlock that model council, and do develop the upgrade to our foot infantry, we're gonna have some design nodes. We're gonna have some serious design nodes. Okay, didn't take any losses. We have 3 decisions. Just exchange some pleasantries. We're gonna ask for a board
Yes,
member.
sir.
Will help. So, gain some democracy. Not too worried about the heart there.
Yes,
Gain
sir.
some mind. Okay. And we now have the ability to reward someone with being a board member. I'm going to give that to our governor here, who's having a bit of a bad day. Strat card on you, board member.
Roger that.
That's only going to buy us time before he gets pissed off again, but buying time is sometimes the name of the game. Okay, so from our earlier reconnaissance point, the situation, we believe... So there's the bison. There's the migratory bison, which... Okay, they're apparently better at attacking, they are defending. Good thing to note. Means they, when we do get into a position where we can probably put them down, it should go better. On the other hand, there's still 3,000 of them, and they're really good at attacking. And they're in the mountains where we really can't attack them very well. So we think there's one there. So I'm not going to immediately go stepping into that tile. And I do want to cut this guy off so he doesn't get away. That was the turtles. So maybe there isn't one in that tile. There isn't one in the tile. Being overly conservative. Okay, so if we get lucky and the turtles and the bisons move off, but he doesn't move in that direction, we'll get rid of him. And of course, we're having the fun status of needing to do everything at the same time and not being able to successfully do any of it. Everything is going down, yes. We are making enough that we should be able to finish the high command. We're probably going to need to build a farm as soon as we're done with the high command. The farm's going to run into the same problem we had with the mine, right? Where we need machine parts. Yes. Though, if we can build a surface one, we only need one machine part. What's the agricultural viability here? No xenobiological crops. We can't eat the alien food. We're a little cold up here. We're at -9. Ideal temperature is 10 to 38. With some temperature variation, so the low mountains are 0. Though 9's probably close enough, so I could probably get away with a agricultural facility. This eats a bunch of water, but it gets reduced water consumption based on the rainfall that hits the tile. Although we get no rain there, right? That's kind of the problem. 0 rain there. For as green as it is, I'm actually surprised how little rain we're getting. Okay, so probably want to do a dome farm instead because it's less water. It'll be more expensive to set up, but it's less water. Oh, I'm literally getting 0 water a turn. That's potentially a problem. Is the zone getting some water? Zone isn't getting any water. Okay. So that's reinforcing the concept I need to get down to the ocean down here. Because I assume the ocean's going to have some water. At least some rain around the ocean as well. So the closer we get there, the more rain we get. The more rain we get, the more we should collect water. Okay.
Roger that. Roger that.
Okay, well, we got plans for this turn. Let's cycle the turn. This is on slow game speed, so slow and steady wins the race to a certain degree. Darn, that was not what we wanted happening. Killed 600 infantry, lost 300. Private investment's good. Okay. I'm going to form a sort of a picket here down at the bottom of the mountain. I don't want to go up into the mountains after the turtles here. Let's just... Okay. So assuming that guy doesn't just start booking for the hills, we'll get rid of that guy next. A lot of his stuff went positive. Interesting they did. We still got a food issue we're gonna need to solve. Ask for another board member. I still want the Supreme Command Council to be about 50%. Just means these guys are gonna share it. The other 50%.
Copy that.
Ooh, protests. I don't have enough money to give into the demand without selling stuff. Do we have enough to sell? I am going to need 2 machine parts, so let's build those machine parts first. See if I still got enough afterwards.
Roger that.
So I need to get 5, let's say 600. I need to get 600 selling. I'm going to do that option. So if I sell off all the rest of the rare metals... actually, the metals are actually more valuable right now. Could sell them off. Yeah, let's do that.
Roger that.
Then that means we can give in to their demands, get the bonus democracy, keep the city from getting more grumpy. The city, for reasonable reasons, doesn't appreciate the danger. So we need to keep them from getting to places like this, if we can. Which is going to be building up the picket more and more and more. So, private industry,
Roger that.
play. Just short of 1,000 credits, better than nothing. Play the board member. On the director of the Economic Council.
Roger that.
I'll probably go ahead. Actually, let's save up the power for a bit. Let's also double check what, other than the opinion boost, what board member does. So the governor has it, for example. Corporate board member. Plus 10 charisma. Okay. That's why I left the armored vehicles there. Because a little bit of armor is apparently enough to give those bison a bad day. So we got padded envirosuit. So we're definitely going to tell the research council.
Roger that.
Take the council. No, take that person. Work on the padded envirosuit. Slave trader. So not only do we set up next to slavers, we've now got slavers in the city. Okay. I'm a little bit tempted just to get rid of the one in the city, but given the fact that this is a low population planet, being able to buy population in the long run will probably be a strong idea. The annoying thing here is this is going to cost... I believe Slave Trader reduces your pop growth in the city by like 100 a turn. Sinister trader that came from the wastelands that set up shop just outside town. His trade is in the trade in humans. He is a slave trader. Arguably, it wouldn't take... That's not too hard of a roll. 54 versus an average of 88. We can probably wait a little bit and let her cover it up. I don't have the money, obviously, to buy. We ain't selling.
Affirmative. Fire when ready.
Okay, get that group to surrender, please.
Mission accomplished.
Minimal casualties, that's good to see. I am in some ways happy that these guys decided to set the oil well up. Because that'll give us more oil, that'll give us more revenue. On the other hand, I would have hoped they do that later, so we don't have an exposed place right on the border where they're going to get constant ginger kicks from people getting too close to it. But apparently I don't get everything I want. At least not all at the same time. Oops. That'll be fine. Wanted to go from there to there, and then from there to there, but it's fine. Trying to push down into that area in the hopes that we can get some more rainfall, so we can afford some farms. Private investment in the zone.
Roger that.
Another 1,000 points in the 1,000 credits in the zone-ish. Okay, I'll raise a few more brigades. Or no, we're gonna, yeah, I can raise a few brigades. So we can do some replenishment and raise, or not brigades, battalions. 2 more battalions. Okay. And we can probably run a bit of a looser picket as we run down to the ocean here. Hoping getting access to the ocean will give us some decent water income. So we can afford the farm that we're going to start building next turn. Okay, the armor vehicle held. And I think we killed 600 bison defending against the bison. The power that is armor. BP assets level 3, so we got that demand complete in time. Yeah, I'm gonna pay through the nose a little bit for the Mall Design Counselor here. Okay, danger is still going down. That's good to see. Okay, so we can basically successfully push down to the ocean there. We've got access to the ocean. Water quality is 0. I think that's implying I get absolutely 0 water out of that. Is going to provide some rain here, so we should be getting some water from rain. Underground water 67%. Rain quality 60%, so we're not getting a lot of water. Or shouldn't be getting a lot of water. Yeah, apparently we didn't get any for the intern, so we may have water problems. We may have some water problems going on. What's the price for buying water? That's bad. Food's a little better. Still pretty bad. Okay, well, we're still gonna build that farm. We might regret it when we run out of water, but we're gonna build a farm.
Affirmative.
And raise another formation of, or another battalion of infantry. I'm probably gonna have to turn the recruiting down soon because I'm gonna be more and more worried about food. Or the water to feed the farm. One of the two. Okay. Those, 2 units of recon buggies are doing work against the bison. Only the bison weren't in the mountains, so we can actually run them down properly. I guess the rain is just that bad. Okay. We're basically getting no water from the rain, which is potentially a problem. I was hoping this ocean would be a little bit more usable. Just a smidge.
Roger that.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and nationalize the transport hub. And we'll see if the recruiting up. Got a little bit of a worker shortage. Hopefully that'll solve itself for the next couple turns. And yeah, if I can't solve that food burn rate's not gonna be great. So it's time to call you up. Oops. All zone orders. For the moment, turn the recruiting off. Can't afford to be feeding the troops anymore than we already are. Militia learn from the experience. We'll just say yes. We got a camp 3 from one of the members.
Roger
Yeah,
that.
give them a job. Model designers always want to do like 80-20.
Roger
You're
that.
mostly doing design work on it. So there is, in theory, an improvement I could do upon the foot. Right, so they're running the slug throwers. Think of the carbine resistant power. And I could go from none to Envirosuit, which is some armor. We're going to cancel out of this for the moment. What is our field tests? 70%. I'm going to wait until we can get Pad Envirosuit and non-medical rifle. And then the field tests will be a little bit better farther along. So we'll hit no new orders here. Probably grab the model designer just a little early. Could do a prospecting push. What's our prospecting looking like? No expectation of anything new, so we're not going to prospecting push into what we think is going to be a void anyway. For mineable resources, we are probably looking for a rare earth metal. And or radioactive. The radioactive we don't need for like forever, so. No losses nor kills, have one decision. There's the archaeological effort. Offer to buy slaves from these guys. We are going to accept. We got the money for it right now. Provides us with more people, keeps them calmer, less likely to go full war on us. And once we go war with the slavers, we're not going back.
Roger that.
So we want to be ready for it when we are. Okay, and we now know for certain that there are no artifacts in this place, which is good because we've been mining it and would have been missing the opportunity the entire time. It does now also mean that all the archaeological cards that come out are also trash for foreseeable future. Okay. Farm will come online next turn. We do probably want to find some water for it, as difficult as that sounds. Oh, interesting. There's snow on this mountain. -6 degrees, so the snow's never melting. It's a really terrible place to mine water, but unlimited source of water. Or... One centimeter of snow, yeah. Really terrible place, but it doesn't run out, because the way the game treats snow is the snow never goes away. Well, the snow will vary with the weather, but there's always going to be some there. That's how it works, is my understanding. 1 centimeter there, 1 centimeter there. So I suppose if we're desperate, we can try to get some snow off of the mountains for water. The higher parts of the ridge here are probably going to stay snowed in. Okay. Unless we trigger global warming or something. Yeah, I'm gonna go slam a road all the way down to the ocean here. Now we get a little bit more supply and can grab a little bit more of the ocean. I don't think it matters where I go on the ocean. I think it's gonna be too salty for us to use. And these aren't great mines, but terrible mines are better than nothing. Terrible mines are better than nothing. The food's about to run out, so I should buy some food. I'm gonna sell metal.
Roger that.
I'm gonna turn around and spend like half of that on food. Spend what we can on food. We're gonna buy all the food that's on the market. Okay, that'll hopefully stall the rate that we burn through our food reserves, at least until we get the agri-dome online, and then probably we go like, oh dear, now we got a water problem. But turning one problem to a different problem. May the rains come. Go down to the Metal Merit. We're not doing any diplomacy, so charisma stacking is maybe less of a rush. Though, probably doesn't make sense to stack that on the governor. The governor does a decent number of charisma rolls. Suffer no losses, nor made kills, have 4 decisions. Once erected a statue. You know, it's up to the government to decide which statues get built, because we like the mind. Policy speech. We'll go for the democracy one. I don't want fists, don't really want government.
Copy that. Roger that.
And we'll give it some demands, give them some money. Agri-dome's finished. Next turn, we should have an understanding on how successful that will be at making food.
We're under fire.
Oh, they're still there.
Requesting backup.
Let's play the Medal of Merit on the governor.
Roger that.
And then we still have a decent amount of political power, so we'll go ahead and meet with the
Roger
CEO.
that.
Yep. And otherwise, I think things are going, other than the food situation and probably the water situation after the food situation, things are going reasonably okay. We're not doing the worst anymore. I question what's going on with the worst if we're not doing the worst, but we're not doing the worst anymore. We're catching up a little bit in the planet. We're still last in planet, and we don't have the least amount of population. In fact, we're pretty close to the top in population, so we're being competitive in the population sphere. Let's cycle the turn, see how well that farm is working to meet our food needs. And then we just need to figure out a way to make some water. Usually the game spawns you with a water deposit nearby, but maybe because it assumed of the rain on this map, then I didn't need it. Although I did put on an outpost mode, so it might have been we're just rolling real well on the metal and the oil and real terribly on the water. That's believable. Yeah, that wasn't a good turn for us. We lost more infantry than we dealt. Oh, I'm not allowed to put more people on your board. Okay, we'll just exchange some pleasantries. I'm not really down for the corporate tax yet.
Yes, sir.
Copy that.
And you're still working on the sealed road. We don't have all the discoveries we want. Right, we still probably want to discover at least one of the power plant techs, whether that's the power plant and the solar energy, and probably the ammo factory. Before we go full hog on research here.
Roger that.
Offer to buy slaves. We have the money, so we'll buy the
Roger
slaves.
that. We're under fire. Requesting backup.
Absolutely, we're gonna be redirect. We don't know if they're in that hex. They probably are in that hex as well. Okay, food situation is stable. Although that's just moved the problem to water. Yeah, although that's just moved the problem to water. So that's high-tech water if I was really desperate for water. I got the wrong atmosphere, I think, for that. Water variations over here. Yeah. So we're gonna have a fun time trying to figure out if we can get water to keep the farm going. We don't have a food problem anymore, so I can probably re-establish some limited recruiting.
Affirmative.
Mainly to handle casualty replacement. So we don't know if anyone's there. I think there's probably someone. Oh, no. They moved up in the mountains. Okay. So having the recon up in the mountains like that is probably not actually good for the recon, but it's going to be fine for the moment. On the private investment.
Roger that.
And we let some time pass. I will bank some ammo, though. It's not completely run out of ammo.
Roger that.
And then... water's reasonably expensive. Going through 200 turns, so I suppose I could just try to buy 200 turn.
Roger that.
Keep the stockpile up. I'm not desperate enough for money. I might regret not selling money or selling stuff for money every once in a while, but we'll keep cycling. Yeah, I think our infantry needs an upgrade. We have 2 divisions. Quality of life met our goal, that's good. Oh, I'm guessing we have an event to go discover a special location. Private expedition, some of our sources have established control of the special hex. They request that we help them hold it. What is it, first of all? It's just a random hex perk that provides some research bonus. I don't believe that would necessarily be an unachievable thing. That would be a hard sell, though. At least a hard attempt.
Roger that.
Yes, sir.
We will attempt.
Roger that.
Okay, so to make that quite plausible, we're going to need to try to build a road. We're obviously not going to go through the low mountains, but there is a little bit of a gap up here, so we can run through there. Supply-wise, and then here we're going to do kind of the same. Go east. Okay, that's a rough plan. We just got the one mystery adventure party. That one got wrecked. At some point, I think I forgot to even attempt to do anything with it. For the moment, we're probably going to keep them stationary, because otherwise we may lose the hex. I do need to establish a road connection with them real quick, if we're going to keep the unit in any real fashion. And yeah, we continue the trend of trying to buy 200 water return. I say try, because we're going to buy everything we can, which isn't 200. Okay. Getting close to the sealed roads being done. We'll probably move into barracks next, and I'll just turn the discovery chance up again. When it's done. As far as the military one going, I know I have the discovery still turned up. We'll probably leave it up unless it comes up on random chance. And then we do it at least until we get automatic rifles discovered. So I think that's really that's the combo we need to get the foot troops to be decent. is automatic rifles and padded armor. Okay, well, that's a lot better turn for us. We got 800 infantry destroyed. The cost of 100. Got a corporate scientist. We do probably want to hire him. Oh, I was going to turn that back to a 2T. Oh, well, that'll be fun on an IE. Okay, so we've been able to get him up into some supply. We may lose the hex, in which case we lose the challenge, lose the demand, but we may also not. And then obviously we should continue building the dirt road. We're probably going to lose that dirt road in a moment, but we have it for the moment. We did lose 100, so we need to make one replacement. I do have a decent amount of money, so if we were desperate for industry, we could do improvised. Don't think we are. Corporate scientist will pull into the pool. When we get... Well, that's assuming the corporate scientist is actually any good. He might be completely terribly. Well, we got two people in the pool, so I suspect he's not all that good. This is probably the corp scientist. He's got inventor 14, admin 19. He's not completely terrible, but he's not going to grow into the role, and he's not very good to start with. That's our zone orders. What's the prospecting looking like? We are sure there are some unknowns. Okay, let's see if we can prospect them.
Roger that.
We hit it. Rare earth metal. Cool. At this point, we believe there are no more. Okay, so we hit a rare earth. There's the rare earth. That's... Oh dear, that's basically empty. That's starting basically empty. Level 2, less than 1,000 in it. We'll mine it at some point, but it's not going to be around for very long once we start mining it. Because we're only going to get one per full expansion on that. I think that level 4 is a little bit better. That level 3 is a little bit better. That 2 has at least got 4,000 in it before we got a reroll. To be fair, the reroll might actually be pretty decent. I didn't think about that, but... and then we got an oil here. That's a decent oil. But yeah, that rare earth is a bit disappointing. It's going to disappear real quick. I was half actually hoping we'd hit water. We didn't hit water. Buying-wise, water! Water is a thing, apparently. Yeah, okay, so... The merchants have found us some water. We're going to buy back up to our 1,800.
Roger that.
That takes me to where it was. About 10 extra. That'll be fine. And then we'll make some ammo.
Roger that.
Okay, so we're off to a start. Victory-wise, we're not in last. We've got more population than last. We've got about the same amount of the planet. We're maybe not off to the races very much on taking the planet. We are definitely starting to probably reach the point where we're going to have sort of action point issues on these roads. We bring up the traffic signs and look. 130 out of 100. Yeah. Yeah. So if we sealed the road, like we're probably looking like, yeah, you'd probably want like a city out here. And actually a city next to the rare earth metal wouldn't be too bad. This is probably where we do want to put a city at some point. And then, yeah, at some point we're going to want to go north. At some point we're going to want to go west. Is there actually some decent snow on that? Yeah, there's actually some decent snow on that. But yeah, at some point we might actually go to war with the slavers of no reason to go after their water. I think their water might be a little bit better than mine. Not that there's a lot of rainfall out there, obviously. Hopefully at some point we can find some decent water. But yeah, that's going to be the start on this run. If you're watching on YouTube, if everything goes according to plan, there will be a part up for you tomorrow. As we recorded 2 parts today. This is going to start in the YouTube schedule after... Well, technically the first part's going to be the same day as the last part from the Banished Vault. So if you're watching this on YouTube, everything... The next recording session should have probably already happened. My plan is usually to stay about 6 days ahead from the beginning... No, from the end of the session, right? So this part is being recorded such that I have 6 days before the next part would need to be up. We'll record the next part in 4 days, assuming nothing comes up. So if you're watching this on YouTube, the next part should have already been recorded on Twitch, so if you don't have the patience to wait for the part for tomorrow, you can probably sneak over to Twitch and watch it over there in the old VODs. Although the video quality probably up on YouTube will probably be a little bit better. Even as I'm talking here, I'm noticing a little bit of throttling on the upload quality. I do have it set up, so I think Twitch gets 60 frames per second, and then whatever the local internet can provide as far as the pixels. YouTube, on the other hand, I think only gets 30 frames per second, but it's going to reliably have 1080p. So if you want to see the detail, as much as this game doesn't necessarily have a lot of detail, although the game probably does have detail that you want to see in the text in here is probably a little bit hard to see if you're at like 40. But yeah, 1080p should be available on YouTube. The next part should be up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, give me a moment. I'll go ahead and bring up the... Oh, I'm bringing up the schedule, but I need to update the schedule, is what I'm remembering. Reminded me what we've definitely got on the schedule, and I'll say what I need to update. So today was the end of the Banished Vault, the beginning of the Shadow Empire run. Tomorrow will be XCOM. Not so sure how quickly we're going to get done with XCOM. I think we've only got 2 story missions left to do. And if everything goes well, we may be able to trigger those pretty quickly, back to back. Not so sure about it. Especially the second one. The first one, I think we're like on the cusp of triggering. The second one, not so much. On Friday, so the day after tomorrow, I think that's going to be Field of Glory Empires. So that's going to be a new game because we just finished Old World on Monday. So that will be a new game. I think that's going to be Field of Glory Empires. I think we're going to do the Persia DLC. And instead of playing Persia, which is what we did last time, or instead of playing Sparta, which is what we did last time, we're going to play Persia. So we're actually going to play Persia in the Persia DLC. And see if we can do anything comparable to what the AI did. I may be not as aggressive an expander as the AI. We'll see. On the other hand, I'm a little bit better at managing stacks, so we're probably not going to have any... We're not going to be able to get defeated by Sparta, right? We're going to do better than Sparta. We just might not do better than Persia in the Persia DLC. The day after that should be the return to Terra Invicta. Obviously, this is the thing I need to go fix on the schedule, so if you're watching this on Twitch right now and you go look at the schedule doesn't say this because I need to fix the schedule. Right now the schedule actually is only up to date till tomorrow, so Tomorrow's XCOM. Day after that is Field of Glory Empires. Day after that will be Terra Invicta. The day after that, which will be Sunday, should be the next stream of Shadow Empires, which should basically be parts 3, 4, 5, and 6, if everything goes according to plan, on YouTube. And we're currently... What turn are we currently on? We're up on round 28. So if you're watching on Twitch, this is probably your last time to ask any questions. I know there's a lot of reports and stuff in Shadow Empire, so if you want to see any of the reports, feel free to let me know, either on Twitch or YouTube. If you get it in, obviously, whether the stream is live on Twitch, I can go ahead and bring it up live on Twitch. If you're watching later on YouTube and you still want to see something from any of the reports, let me know. I can always go load up the save. I do a save at the end of every stream with a unique name, so I can always go back to any of the streams and pull up that save and go find the reports. So I can definitely do like a short for the reports if you're watching on YouTube. So yeah, this is the last call for comments on Twitch. And if you're watching on YouTube and you got any comments, this is also a good time to put comments in on the YouTube video. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.